You might have to run with him. And we are live. Bring Doug in.
Hey,
Hey, what's up, Doug?
just made it here to Florida, man. That's where I'm at right now.
You can hear me, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay, that's yours. He can hear me.
I can't hear anybody.
Yeah. Um, I don't know what you have. Can you turn it up? Turn your volume up.
You talking about me?
No, not you.
Oh,
Doug, can you hear me?
yes, I can.
But she can't hear us.
My clue.
That's yours.
Okay, I'm going to go out and come back in because I have no clue why I can't hear. I have no sound. I'll log off and come back in.
All right.
Okay. What's on it, boy?
What's up, big dog? How you doing?
Man, like I said, I'm down in Fort Lauderdale, man. So I just got in today.
Right.
Yes,
You all over the place, man.
man. I'm just trying to make it do what it do, man. It's a weekend holiday. It's a holiday weekend, and so I'm just trying to enjoy myself.
Right, and that's what you got to do, man. That's what you got to do.
Trying to
What
be
you gotta
like
do.
you.
No, you don't be like me. I already been trying to be like you, the smoothest NFL player in showbiz. Can you hear me now? Can you hear this now?
Yeah, I got you now. I can hear now.
love,
What
and
was the matter?
relationship. All right now.
Yes.
Hey, what was the problem?
I think it was mine. I have a new device here. And
Uh-huh.
so I think may have been clicking the wrong button when I was trying to get you.
Girl,
So,
you think I'm going? You got me going crazy.
I have that effect. So
oh, is that it?
yeah,
Hey, did I tell you
Thanks,
he is?
thanks for the enlightenment, okay?
yeah,
Hey,
I
I
have that
told you
effect.
he
My
is the.
mom said I got it, so I got it.
Okay.
I told you he is the smoothest big man in the NFL.
Okay.
The
Okay.
smoothest Okay, let me say something real fast. Hey, I got 7 people on right now. Y'all need to go ahead and get your questions in. Get your questions in so we can start answering some questions. You know, we got this is a treat we have tonight. We have Seattle Seahawks.
All day,
Huh?
Okay.
all day. Let it be
Oh,
known.
hey,
The bird is flying.
the greatest. We have the greatest and the smoothest big man that ever came out of the NFL. I'm gonna say the smoothest because I mean big man because I'm the smoothest little man.
Oh, okay.
So Doug and I, we always kick it at the our NFL Players Convention. That was my guy. He became one of my good friends for forever, a long time ago. And he resides in the Bay Area. He's in the Yay area, and he also was a president in the NFL Players Association in the Northern California chapter. I don't believe you're not president anymore, are you?
President my own business. That's about it. You
That's
know.
about it.
You know,
That's
I couldn't. I got tired of taking them EBT cards from the NFL, so I had to go get my own.
there you go. And we have the lovely. Go ahead, young lady. Introduce yourself.
I am Linda Streeter. I'm very happy to be here again tonight. I am Linda of Love and Relationship Matters. It's kind of it. Therapist, mediator with couples, that is, and
Love and love
There
and
you go.
relationship.
author and speaker.
Arthur, speak. What's the name of those books again?
Okay, one book is called The Art of Manifesting Love. You can probably see a little tad bit of it in my background there. And the other one is called The Power of Conflict.
Power conflict.
Yes, about
Yeah.
making something great from conflict. Yeah.
Yes. Like making love after the conflict.
I
Oh,
say
wow. Okay.
You can't get no better than that.
it
That
can't get no
eliminates
better than
everything.
Uh-huh.
that. That's the question.
Whatever
We got
was going on in your mind, eliminate it.
right. I also have my boy Simi Braxton. He's sitting here with me. Let me keep in, Simi. And you can catch him on the Simi Braxton Show. Say what's up.
What's up, folks?
How you doing? Yeah, I'm here with him, man. Enjoying the show. You guys look good, man. You guys look like you're ready to talk about something real good. I'm just hanging.
I got a balloon
I'm ready to
bust.
enjoy it.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get this started.
Yeah, I've been holding this bubble for a long time.
There you go. I'm sweating. Y'all gotta excuse me for sweating because man, I've been on my boat, man. I've been on the boat all day.
We don't care about your boat, man. Come on.
I know. I've been ran home. I ran home trying to get clean up. I had to clean up the boat, and I'm like, I didn't even clean myself up, man.
Oh yeah. Well, thank God that you cleaned yourself. Amen.
That's right. That's right.
Like you got a suntan.
I do have a tan. So let's get started. Hey, come on. What makes you? How do I say this, Linda? Because people are like, what gives you the background to be able to answer love questions? Why can you answer love questions?
Is that a question? Is that a question?
That's for her. That's for Doug. That's for Doug.
Oh, for Doug.
Oh, that was for me.
Yeah,
You didn't identify.
What qualifies Doug? What qualifies you to answer love questions? Because I get that. I get that myself.
Well, you have to have the participants at the past to help you understand that. Why they call me. so but to answer the questions about love, by me raised by my mom and my grandmother, they instilled love in me due to the compassion that I have towards women, towards people in general. So I just love life. I love people, period. I am who I am. Example, my mom and my grandmother. I found out, and I share with my kids all the time, especially the boys. Don't throw love around. And the problem with men, we have a problem throwing the word love around like it's just a daily word to throw out there. But in actuality, you really don't mean what you mean. I found out to order to love somebody, take time to understand who they are and learn them as time goes. That's about the best answer I can give you at this moment.
Right. Okay. Have you ever been in love? Have you ever been in love?
Oh yeah, I've been in love. I was married for 27 years.
What's that got to do with love? Being married?
Well, when you commit to somebody, you better be in love for 27 years.
Hey, Linda, I'm gonna mess with him all night. So
I see. I'm glad.
Yeah, you better. Something wrong with you in a marriage for 27 years. You don't love that person. Something wrong with you. Okay, but love comes and goes. For me, during that time, I thought it was. I went to therapy, did everything I needed to do, but I thought it was me. This was something new, so I had to learn myself because I had to learn I love me, but it took me a minute to love someone else. And once I got that called on and had the kids, I started loving each other. So I started reminiscing of what my mom was loving me and telling me she loved me, and my grandmother, on and on and on. As men, we have a tendency not to show our affection. That's the best way I can say it. But me, I have no problem. If I'm gonna love you, I'm gonna love you, regardless of that.
Right. All right. I got you. Linda, you have a question? We didn't have any questions. What's up? Y'all need to send some questions in. Where y'all at?
I had a comment to make, since we're always talking about relationships and how they start, they form, and what are some of the things you should know and ask. So I saw I remember, and I saw a comment that I heard Tyler Perry say once. And so I thought, oh, that may be a good little thing to talk about, because I think sometimes, as I've indicated before, we tend to go into relationships and make these decisions that later, people are like, oh, they're crazy. She's crazy. He's crazy. They don't have this. They don't have that. They lied about everything, but what are some of the things we should know? And I just thought this was really interesting, because the comment was, or the statement was, before you marry someone, you need to see them in all 5 seasons. The season of happiness, mad, stable, broke, and when they've been hurt. Because people don't really change. Is who they were all along. It's just that certain situations brought out something in them that you were not ready for, prepared for, or didn't understand.
Yes.
So my question, go on.
And you may not be able to handle that.
Well,
go ahead.
I'm gonna give it to you from a professional athlete standpoint. When the curtain is closed, there's no cheers no longer. The big checks coming in. That's when those 5 categories you mentioned come about. The question is it's going to show true love if the woman really loves you for good and the bad, or she's loving you just because you're on the status of who you are at that moment. And then the man falls in a pit hole and trying to figure his way to get out. A lot of them commit suicide. A lot of them go to therapy. A lot of them still in it, trying to figure out how to get out the pitfall. And then they're wondering why the woman leave them. Then you got the kids here. Then you got this big old house. You got to pay your taxes. So it's a whole gratification when the curtain is closed from a player standpoint. Good thing for me that I had the knowledge and the know-how to pick up where I left off at. Born and raised in Detroit, we just are blue collar workers. That's what I am. I'm a blue collar worker. So I know whatever it's going to take to keep the family together. If I have 2 or 3 jobs, that's what I'm going to do. A lot of guys don't understand that. Don't know how, put it like that. Don't know how to put it all together. And that's why you have a lot of divorce and breakups and so forth in the NFL, or like I said, a lot of guys committed suicide because they no longer have the fans cheering for them, the large checks coming in, and so forth.
That's stigma.
And some guys need that. They need that motivation. They need that energy, and it's just not there.
They go in that depression stage.
Yeah, deep depression stage.
Wow.
And if you have a good father would tell you, son, it's going to be okay. That was just a phase of your life that you enjoy. Let's go to the next phase.
So,
a lot of them don't have good fathers. A lot of them don't have fathers. A lot of them are just raised by moms.
mm-hmm.
And then you have some good mothers that raise their sons to be who they are today.
Question.
Go ahead.
Question then. So do you find that people are marrying because of the image that they see in each other? Because it's not just the athlete in this case here, it would be the woman he's marrying. Is this someone who will stand by his side when the curtains close? Are those values that you feel that men or athletes in particularly, since you mentioned those, are those values that they're looking for? Because I think that's where we miss it at even today. Whether you're an athlete or whatever the professional career is, we have a tendency to base lifelong relationships on the temporal things that we see, and we never even have the discussions about what happens if someone.
Well, this is what I tell the guys when I visit the teams around the NFL, especially the rookies coming in. Especially if you're the ugly duckling of the crew, and you ain't never had no beautiful woman in your life. All of a sudden, she come around want to marry you. Now, them red flags right there, automatically. Now, if you had a girl that was you was a freshman in college or your high school sweetheart, and she know what you had when you had holes in your shoes and overalls, jeans, and she's still with you, then that's who you need to be with.
That's
but
the
when
one.
when you come with Shirley Mae and Shirley Corn and Sister Cornbread, flying that thing around, and you ugly as all outdoors, and she just smiling at you, that's a red flag. She ain't about you, man. She about your money. That's what I be telling the guys. Yeah. And so to me, and I share with my daughter this. I said, look, a man gonna love you for who you are.
Go back.
Okay, you don't have to go out there and sell yourself. Period. A man, if he about your intelligence,
Go tell your brother to give you a water.
if he about your intelligence, and he gonna be about who you are.
I can't do that.
You know, what gets me is that girls are too aggressive these days.
Mm.
Okay, too aggressive, and that's a turnoff. Okay,
We talked about that.
Off. And I, me personally, hold up, sister. Let me tell you something. Look, whatever you're trying to throw at me, I could do by myself. Okay, I got 10 hands. Whatever I want to go with, I could do by myself. I don't need you, and I don't need nothing else. I'm cool by myself. And so these are things I share with the guys, give them examples. If you ain't with this girl and she ain't help you get your diploma, then you don't need her. And then you got guys that been with the girl all these years, through high school, through college. She helped me with his term papers and so forth, the past. And all of a sudden you want to drop her like a hotcake, but then you go, because you see this little thing come over your way because she look pretty, but she really don't care nothing about you. Then she'll have a baby. Now you in big trouble. Now you're gonna pay out your pocket. But this girl that's been with you from when you didn't have nothing till you got to where you are, then you gonna drop it. No. You're gonna have bad luck all day long.
Hey, what happens when what do you say when they do all that and then they get to college or get to the NFL, then marry that white girl?
Oh man, Pinto's something else. It's a fantasy. That's all I can say. It's a fantasy that whatever fantasy you may have, you can have with your sister. Okay, and I'm not racist or anything, but
yeah,
right. Look, I brought a fair-skinned sister to the house and got chewed out. I didn't realize my grandmother was prejudiced. That's that old. She from Alabama girl, so old light skin, dark skin stuff. So tripped me out. I learned something. So, but I like my meat where it's done anyhow. I don't like nothing raw. I just like my meat medium well, and I'm good with it.
Right. Hey, New Edition said it better. They said it best. They said, "Can you stand the rain?" I know y'all remember that. But what you said, Linda, was, you're exactly on, because you need to know each phase of a person.
Right.
Each season of a person, because you don't know because people act different in different situations. You ever go out with somebody, Doug? You ever go out with somebody and you think you thought they were classy until they got in front of your other ball players, and then they start acting all what do you got, gung ho and happy that they was around celebrities. I took a guy and I took a girl before, and they went crazy. I took somebody over Janet Jackson's house. They embarrassed the hell out of me, bro.
This happened a couple of weeks ago. We went to the winery. My son brought this young lady to the winery. My godmother and my niece was all having a good time celebrating birthday out in Napa. So the girl was pleasant. But soon as she started drinking that wine, my godmother looked at me, and I looked at her, and I started seeing some things. I had asked my son, "Man, is that a man or a woman? What's going on here?" I'm being honest. So I told my daughter, my daughter bold enough went and questioned her to see what the real truth is. Her name is Monica Marcel. Okay, whoa, wait a minute. Marcel. Yeah, all these things. Her hands as big as mine. She's 6 feet. She got a 5 o'clock shadow. And then she started drinking the wine. Her voice started sounding like mine. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I asked my son, "Did you examine this situation?" Of course, he's no longer with her now. but yeah, man, it's scary out there.
It is.
It's scary out
It's
there,
very scary.
and it's like you have to. You don't have to be a professional athlete. You could be just a gentleman, just a blue collar worker working hard, and you have to bond on who you are. You know, one thing I found out, you know, women like a man if he gonna take care of the household, take care of the household. You know, whatever they can come, if she make more money than him, and a lot of guys are intimidated by a woman make more money than them. Okay, that's good. That's more pot in, that's more money in the pot if you together, you know, 1-to-1. But I feel that if you communicate and as you're dating, getting the cobwebs out the relationship, being honest with each other, and that's what we're missing. I feel in today's world, everybody got a hidden agenda.
Everybody has a hidden agenda. We spoke on that. Yeah.
Everybody has a hidden agenda, and they don't know what you don't know what your agenda are. They don't know what your agenda. But if you confidence and know who you are, because I'm transparent. You know, I'm gonna tell you flat out where I'm at and what I'm doing. You love me, you don't like me at all. Plain and simple. But I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I'm too seasoned. I ain't old. I'm just too seasoned not to tell you where I'm coming from.
Right. Do you think? I think athletes have it worse than anybody because we went through the after your last game. What do? It's hard. It's hard for us. When I mentor people, when I mentor young people, I tell them to go into college and go into the NFL having another passion. You know what I'm saying? Know what your passions are, because this game it doesn't last forever. So if it was an easy transition for me because my passion wasn't even football. My passion was doing events. That's what I love, doing events and working with kids.
My passion wasn't football. I'm gonna tell you, when they called me, I hung up on them. I thought somebody was playing a joke because I was studying I was trying to finish his exam so I can graduate.
Right.
So when Chuck Nuts called me, and I was like, yeah, hung up on. He called back again, and I really couldn't believe it. Once it sunk in that I just got drafted, I was like, wow. So here's the story. I called my grandmother, told her I got drafted. She thought I got drafted in she thought, I can tell the words she used. She thought I got drafted in the military.
Mm-hmm.
I would use the words she said, but yeah, she tried to send me to Canada, anywhere else, get out of here.
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't. But the NFL was good to me. My education going to Southern Methodist University was valuable. Speaking of young people, Stephen, I don't give them the opportunity to let them know the direction to go into the NFL. Only you and God know what work you put in. What you're trying to do is get your education, because your parents didn't have the money to send you to a great school that you went to. So therefore, take advantage. It take 5-6 years, and they paying it. To let them do what they have to do.
So I think though, in terms of relationships, what's important though, regardless of where you are, I think a lot of bad choices, regardless of career, is what I'm saying. But I think a lot of relationship choices are just made prematurely. They're made before a person has a good understanding of who they are. We make this relationship decisions based on the immediate, what we're looking at right now, not recognizing the fact that who this person is at 18, 19, 20, and even 30 and 40, you are constantly evolving, which means that a person has to have some frame of their own self-identity and goals with where they are going in life and how well are they at meeting their own needs. Otherwise, we go into relationships. Some people go into relationship because there are emotional needs. Sometimes it's the financial need. Sometimes it's like, I want to be famous need. But whatever that is, it takes a little time, certainly asking the right question, but you don't know the right questions if you don't know yourself, where you're going and what does your world look like and what are you trying to fill it with. So when it comes to those seasons of life, sometimes they are best lived, which goes back to what I always say, Stephen, about pushing the pause button and stop rushing it. And I'm not sure,
Yeah.
we push relationships so often, and there's no need to rush.
No need to rush. But
But
Yeah.
who rushes more?
but
Who
you have
rushes more?
society, putting so much pressure on this young generation that they have to have this and have to have that. And I feel that young ladies are putting a lot of pressure on these young men, and it can be vice versa as well, because they want to live this lifestyle here. But if you work together, if that's the one, that you're supposed to be with, then you can climb that mountain together and conquer whatever you want to conquer. I feel that there's a lot that's been missing out on the communication, because based on what media portrayed love to be, and we fell away from it.
Yes. Yeah.
And then when you ask a person describe love, they don't know how to describe love. Love comes in many forms. People love or money, OJs.
For the love
Love and
of
hate.
money. Exactly.
But when I look
So
at love, I look at agape love. This is the most unconditional love that you can get from God. This is the most beautiful thing that you can share with your mate. Once you understand who you are as a person, in order to spread that seed of agape.
Yeah, because I wish that I could say that what we're discussing here in terms of where people are, emotionally, who they are, their own identity, what they're trying to get in life, these hidden agendas in relationship. It's not just young people. We're talking, I'm talking people who are, well, I've seen it, in other words, from old to young with the same
Yeah.
problem. And where relationships are concerned. And we say sometimes we're society, there's pressure from society, but I don't think you get pressure from society or feel pressure. Pressure, I think, is something that you choose because, I can look at a situation and feel pressure to compete with someone or be content with who I am and where I'm at and not feel I have to compete. Same with the relationship. So when I'm looking at like a span from like these, what do you call the Gen X and millennial kids, and then when I talk to people like even our age, they tend to kind of all run together, have the same problem.
Well, do you feel that? I truly believe this. To order to love somebody, you got to love yourself.
True.
And once you love yourself and understand who you are as a person, I always tell my kids this. I say sometimes you got to tap into who you are as a person. I say,
Correct.
if you don't know who you are, I said the hidden treasure's already in you. All you got to do is tap into it so it can manifest itself. And so once it manifests itself, people will see who you are for who you are.
Correct. So if we were to look at Stephen, you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. So like, and I just thought that makes so much sense with the whole 5 seasons. But think about this. These are the things we overlook, and a lot of times because sex has gotten involved. Our vision becomes cloudy about all the red flags that you see in relationships. So you start talking about 5 seasons. One so simple as happy. And I've seen people try to connect with someone, the person is unhappy. They were unhappy with everything. And then all of a sudden you're in a relationship with someone who you feel demands so much of you. You can never please them because they are an unhappy person. That's something I think we may see initially. And then when you look at the word mad, what about the person who's angry at everything? One thing that I've noticed and learned is that,
Run
the
away.
mad person is how they treat other people. Because I can assure you, when they're not feeling the butterflies with you, you're going to get the same treatment as the other people that they're angry with. However they handle that, inability to let go of things, to forgive, to talk things out. I think it's all of that stuff there that speaks to what we're talking about. And the word stable, someone who's stable, a person who gets a job every 3 months. I know that may be exaggerated, but can't hold a job, and yet you're connecting with this person. Like what were you expecting if they didn't hold one? And so it's not hard to see. And I think what for the word broke, that's that season of being broke. Life happens in season, but if a person does not have not one solution or plan to change their brokenness, whether it be emotionally or financially, you're still in for another ride. I think that's something we see up front as well. And then people who are hurt, who've been hurt, or if you hurt them, we see that too. And sometimes what I see is that these are the relationships that I see, like whether it's in, like mediation or counseling, when folks start talking about the things that they're going through in their marriage and considering, or relationships, even if they're not married, it's been a long term or whatever, they're considering leaving that relationship. Of course, there's always something on that list there that people are not discussing. They don't have conversations around, and they're living in sort of like toxic relationships at times.
And that's when you step back. I mean, before you get in that relationship, you always got to step back. And as you was talking, I was thinking about this. I was like, you know what? Before people get in relationships, we need to step back and just watch and see who we're not falling in love with or just falling for, because people will tell you. If you be quiet, just sit back and watch them, they will tell you who they are. You know what? And while you were saying the things, I'm like, you know what? I can't stand people. I probably want to say that, but I don't like people that's always mad. I don't like people that's always angry at something. I don't like negative people. And I that's probably what I can't live with out of anything. People that's negative. And man, it's just, Doug, I want to ask you, who do you think you can what type of person wouldn't you marry or wouldn't you connect with?
I been through what I went through. I wouldn't go through that again. It was speak bad of his mom, but it was a false mirror. Okay. And like I said, it wasn't meant to be. But I can tell you this. I'm in a relationship now that it was God sent. It's a beautiful thing. It's like, wow. You can imagine what love is, but when it actually slap you in the face, and it has slapped me in the face numerous times, but I just want to make sure, because I want to make them mistakes again. But this is, it's real and it's genuine, and I ain't this happy because I got drafted.
You was happy when you got drafted?
84, when I signed that contract, I was happy.
Right.
But yeah, it's like I wake up and you know how you look at the sun and it's just shining. That's how I feel about that person.
Right.
So
that's great. I can see the smile on you. I can see that smile on your face.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I call it love. That's it.
There you go. All right, let me give a shout out. Let me give a shout out to Mary Bridges. What's up? That was my high school girlfriend. Hey, Mary. Hey, Tina. Hey, Tina, how you doing? Pam is my director. How y'all doing? I just want to shout out to y'all, and y'all get some questions in.
But I'm gonna say this: you can never give up.
Right.
On whatever may happen in the past, your feelings gonna be hurt. You're gonna just don't swallow it and have a pity party. Keep moving. And what my strength was is the strength of the Lord, because I know the word. And so, that was my strength, got me through all my situations. And so, and I just really tapped into myself, who I am, because I am a fighter. And so I fought through it and came through it, and yeah, I'm all right, And so I tell him, Vincent, we're gonna, we may fall, but get back up. Life is not over now.
Exactly.
You know, like I tell my daughter, hey, it's his fault, not your fault. You the best thing ever came in this life. It could be vice versa. Or I tell my sons this: don't ask a woman for their hand in marriage if you're not going to maintain the lifestyle that she was living when her father was taken up. If you can't do that, keep her in the nest. You can love her from far and near. But if you can't really take care of that woman, ask for a hand in marriage, leave her alone. And women, don't be so gullible because a man say, I love you.
Exactly.
Like I tell my daughter, I say, he don't love you, he love it if he's trying to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful what you're doing.
Exactly.
It could be, it's like cat and mouse playing games. And life is good, I tell you. That's all I can say.
I can see you. You shining bright like a diamond.
Oh man, I'm sounding like a quarter. What you talking about?
I ain't mad at you. Doug. That is so sweet, man. I'm glad you're happy, man. I mean, everyone should be happy.
I've been through the storm, brother.
Oh, I already know that.
I've been through the storm.
I'm already knowing. That's why I'm glad to have you here, man. I was trying to get Chris on here too, but Chris is kind of shy, and plus he's running his prep school. He's busy with that a lot. So
right. So, but I got my, I said, when you have God on your side, and he show you some things, and he opened up the door even better. He'll send you a mate, and you tell me they ain't the one for me. But no, they ain't the one. It ain't what you like. It's what he knows is right for you.
Right, okay. Right.
You're looking for that. You're looking for that Coca-Cola body, that light skin, and long, pretty hair, and all that. And God will say, no, that ain't what you need. This is what I'm gonna send you. Right.
Exactly. Right.
For the season.
He's gonna send you. He's gonna send you that right piece for your puzzle.
Man, that's gonna
right
make you. That's gonna develop you, and you're gonna develop her. It's gonna be more of a team effort coming together.
Yeah, make you complete.
Right, and that's what love is really all about. Coming together as one. A bishop told me years ago. They've been married 60 years. And he told me it took me 30 years to understand my wife. And so when she told him on his 60th anniversary, she told him she'd do another 60 years with him. And I said, wow, that's love.
That's love, man.
That's love, because you know your mate. You know everything what you make, like what you're doing, whatever's going on. It's the in-between. It's them two spirits connected together, that one another. Have a bad day, good day, whatever you like. It's like you synced in with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. I'm telling you, I'm loving it.
Are you looking at your computer, Doug?
Yeah, it's looking at me. Why?
Okay, on the top right, there's a thing that say comments. Click on that.
Why gotta click comments? I see chats. I see comments. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
click I see the comments. And then you can see the people. They'll be leaving stuff. Guess who just popped in?
Who? Anthony Simmons.
Anthony is our other boy. Who did Anthony play for? He played for the Chargers, the Raiders,
Chargers, and
Raiders.
Yeah, Chargers, Raiders. He played against teams that I played against him. Yeah.
Yeah, I told him earlier. I said we might have to get you on the show, but I don't know, man. I don't know if we can get him on the show. He might be acting up.
Yeah, he's special. He's special, y'all. I had to tell you, he wrote he's CT and he rode a short bus. He rode the yellow bus. I'm just saying, I hate to put it out there. He might not have spell love. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful.
Anthony, he talking about you, man. Get off my boy. You got to get off my boy.
He's heavy on medication, y'all. I'm just like, no.
Stop talking about my boy. Stop talking. Hey, Anthony, I might have to get you on here next week, dog. We're gonna see how it goes.
Yeah. But women, men, we have to take the time out for ourselves. And I always say, love yourself first. When you're feeling good about who you are as an individual, that energy would translate over to the next person. And they know who you are because you're feeling good. Some of us got the old school raising that a man must provide for the house, which is true. That's that's just who I am. But a woman, let her do what she's gonna do. At the end of the day, you still do what you're supposed to do as a man in the household. I think a lot of guys sit back and expect for the woman to cook, clean, and all that. But look, brothers, you can cook and clean. You can cook and clean before if you're hungry, and you can do the same thing. So it's the little things that destroy the vine. So if the vine is strong, the little things don't matter because you're helping out each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's all about team effort. But love is genuine. Love is good. Love is sweet. Love is love. When you love yourself, oh man, boy, y'all don't understand. I'm telling you, when you tap into yourself and really see who you are, it just comes out naturally.
That's just how I am. That's just how
you don't have to search for it; it'll come to you.
Yeah, that's what I preach that all the time. Go ahead.
So what advice would you all give the ladies who are listening about, what are these fine qualities that a man, a mature man, because I know if he's not mature, it's based on what he sees. Maybe she has the Coca-Cola bottle, what you described a moment ago, Doug. Well, what about?
I would say this.
What is that for a man?
I will look. This is what I tell my daughter. I say, you want, what you want in a man, your qualities you want in a man, and it's vice versa. But don't mess with no mama's boy, because he ain't gonna do nothing. Plain and simple. The mama may come up and do this, do that. He's lazy. He ain't gonna do this, do that. I tell my daughter, get a blue collar, working hard man. A man gonna mind with a hard hat, a lunch pail, going to work to provide for his family. And you will see those traits from his father or how his mother raised him to be. I dated my daughter, and I still date her when she's 31 years old. I've been dating my daughter since she was 5 years old, and showing the things how a man's supposed to treat her.
Yes.
So, but I would say to the ladies out there, love you first. Practice celibacy.
A big
focus on you, because you are a precious gem that God has made for you. He gonna send you the right man.
Exactly.
Just don't look for that guy that's he's singing, he's talking good, especially if he's sagging and he's 40 years old. Stop it. For real.
Right. There's signs. There are signs.
Yeah, okay. Look where he at. If he riding a Benz and he's staying in an apartment, something wrong with that. His priorities are wrong.
Exactly.
Okay? His priorities are wrong. He need to, if he got a house and he take care of his house, then yet the other gifts come, that's fine. But love you. Be careful. It's like this is a perfect example I get. It's like the serpent is in the garden and he's spitting at you, talking in your ear, and you fell for the okie doke. You got to be strong in your will to say no. He may be the finest thing that ever came across the nation, but he's poison. Focus on you. Love you. Because you know what you want. You know what you want in a man. And it's vice versa as a guy.
All right,
Not,
Stephen.
not just love you, trust yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Trust
Yeah.
yourself to make that right decision.
You know what? I think that not every, when you say trust yourself, that's a big step for some people. I was on a call earlier tonight and I heard a young lady talk about some of the abuse she went through when she was young, and then how difficult it made it for her to trust anybody later in life because, of course, her caregivers, the parents, were these people who talked down that were, very difficult for her to live with. And then she grew up with all of this anger. And a lot of times you're still talking about people, even if it's not outright anger, the fears, the trust. Sometimes it's just being gullible or just not learn in areas on how do we make these decisions? How do I make relationships decisions? Because oftentimes, regardless of your issue, people are always looking for someone that they can feel that security with. And they may look over the bigger things sometimes just because they need to feel secure with someone they presume love them, and then turn out later it's not that. It may be abusive. So back to the whole identity, I think what I'm going to say to everyone is to be in touch with any silent trauma in their life and talk about how to be healed first. Healed people do much better at making relationship choices than people who are still carrying their brokenness and their wound from the past. So
And I agree. I agree with you. I think people, when they go to therapy, for instance, you got to be transparent.
yeah,
You got to be transparent, and you got to lay it on the line.
and I find that
A couple years ago, I'm gonna give you a story what happened to me. 2016, November the 7th, I got rushed to the hospital, right? And I died twice. Found out I had septic bacterial meningitis. Okay. They amputated all 10 of my toes. So that was a challenge by itself for me to rise up, to learn how to walk all over. I had to crawl, I had to do everything. It was a process. And so the NFL paid for him to go to therapy. I went to therapy for a year and a half. And I discovered some things that the little boy had inside of me. He had questions, and the questions were never answered.
you're right.
So when the questions were answered for the little boy, then the man started coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was emotional. It get emotional.
Absolutely.
It gets emotional, and it's going to be tough. But to set yourself free,
You got to.
you got to let it go.
Mm-hmm. And
You
not
got
just.
to let it go, and you got to love yourself as you're taking that journey.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you're taking that journey, you're discovering truly who you are.
Right.
Okay.
And
Can't nobody tell you who you are when you're going through that journey. But if you're going through it by yourself, then that's a way of suicide. Okay, because of the pressure, you can't take it no more.
right.
Okay, when I was in the hospital, two different doctors said I remind them of Joe, right? So we know the story of Joe. And so when I started really searching and thinking about how Joe was and the things that he was saying, so I go back to the beginning of the time when God created heaven and earth and then created man and he breathed life into the nostrils, right? So that's the living being, we're a living soul. That's who we are. So when the guy said, "I came into the world naked, I leave naked," but that was God telling the enemy that it's really nothing you can't do. It was a spirit in him. It was a trust of himself that was transparent, that he could say, "Whatever you do, I'm still gonna love me, regardless of whatever situation is." And so what I'm saying is this: whatever you're going through, you still love who you are. because nobody can love you the way you love yourself.
Exactly.
Period.
Yeah. But it's amazing at the people that don't have self-love. So yeah, and what you're saying is very true. In those steps. And I think what I would for people, or wish for people, that they would take time out to work on themselves, to do the work, that they can be whole and they can make those decisions, about relationships. And even more so, when you have a quality of self-love for yourself, you go into relationship with that expectation. You don't go into relationship with someone who's going to treat you worse than you treat yourself. But
Right.
you know that based on the quality of love that you bring to yourself in relationships. And if you're having a difficult time with that, definitely talk to someone. Yeah.
But,
And be
but as you said, you have to be transparent in order to lift that pressure off you. If you're not
yeah,
transparent, instead he's going to be there.
that's at work.
And the thing about it is this: people go to their grave with those issues, and it's still never been resolved. You got to release them skeletons in the closet so you can be who you are.
Exactly.
God made us wonderfully and lovely be made. Show that love, show that spirit inside of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing on this earth, God made a woman for a man.
Exactly.
Best thing. Oh my
Best
goodness.
thing, come on. And see, but women, you got to understand this. For you to be that mate for that man, you got to clear your skeletons out your closet so you can love the way you need to love. And it's vice versa for the man.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to
But
complete
I
yourself.
tell you, once you're free, indeed, baby, let me tell you.
Yeah, lady, hey, once y'all free, you're gonna see right through them fake brothers.
Oh,
You're
you're
gonna
gonna
see
see it all
right
day.
through them. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like
you can see it all day.
all day. You know what? You're gonna stop dealing with no good brothers. Once you find yourself and clear everything up, you'll see them coming. You might say hi, but you're gonna keep it walking. You're gonna keep it moving. You're gonna know who's not good for you.
I see young lady Mary. Mary, you correct. A lot doesn't want to go to therapy, right? But as a good friend, you can hold their hand and walk through the therapy with them and go through what they're going through, get them through. Sometimes people are afraid to go through it. And it's going to be, and I'm be honest, it's going to be emotional. It's definitely going to be emotional.
Don't you think too much of that is rooted in our culture, that
Oh
we
yes, without a doubt, without
Yeah.
a doubt.
have their, you talk about it at home. And one of the reasons I went into the field, and in fact, my master's is a marriage and family therapist. But it was for that reason that we wait until we go into crisis to deal with our issues, not recognizing that some of the things that we've learned and we've been conditioned to in life were built around the trauma in our lives, around dysfunction in our families, and then those secrets where you don't talk to anybody and you don't need to talk to anyone outside of your family. And, or maybe that stigma that there's something wrong with that, with therapy. And then you find every day back to, I didn't know there was such a problem with, with athletes and committed suicide. I hear about it kind of often. And the behavior, the thing that runs depression and not being able to talk about those things. So I think we need to do better at promoting that, the idea that it's okay to talk to someone and you don't have to be in crisis to talk to someone. If you're still stuck in something for years or whatever, this might be a good time to have that conversation with someone if you find yourself, just not able to move forward.
Yes. Mary says therapy was the best thing that happened to her when her husband died.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, most black people we won't go to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole idea, like in relationships, what I've noticed too, and I have some clients now I'm dealing with that, when the relationship is experiencing all kind of problems, someone is not happy, there's dysfunction in it, and you're married to a person who does not believe in the process, or maybe they started the process, came to 1 or 2 sessions, and they decided they're not going to go back anymore. and they're going to live in that same energy and all of that dysfunction, and they expect the person to stay with them even though they don't want to get help. And I told anyone, that's another question on your list when you're considering a mate. How do they feel about therapy? What happens when you get stuck? What happens when there's conflict? What do you do? What's the backup? And
the thing about it is that they gotta be willing to do the therapy, and the thing about it, it doesn't have to be from the church. When I went to therapy, it was a beautiful. I didn't know she was a Christian woman. She's a nice Christian Asian woman, and she helped me get through what I had to go through. She used to have this picture on the wall. It's like a forest going down a road, and at the end of the road, there was a light at the end of that forest, and I was trying to get to it. And I kept going and kept going. Every time I got more stuff, it was like the leaves were falling off the tree, and my branches were getting stronger, and the new leaves were growing.
Exactly.
Okay, right. And so we have to trust. Just trust. Trust yourself. Trust yourself that there's nothing that's been disclosed because it's kept private. You have a lot of people that's been molested, family generations. I could go on and on and on about that. But it's kept secret, it's been kept quiet.
Secrets.
You got alcoholics.
And that's all inside of you.
You got alcoholics in the family. You got abuse in the family. It goes on and on and on. But I would say this as we get ready to close. Trust who you are as a person. Love yourself. Ask God. He'll show you the way. And I hate to get, but that's who I am. He'll show you the way, because I'm gonna tell you what I went through. I had an out of body experience. Yeah, I saw myself. My mother came out of nowhere and pushed me back and said, "No, it ain't your time." And I had teammates and former players and guys I played with came to visit me and encouraged me. That was a big family that got me through that. As a former player, you losing your toe, but yet I still had the Lord on my side because I trust Him. He was just showing me some things when I was in there. He was showing me who people truly are. If you get what I'm saying.
Okay, so we got 2 minutes.
Yes. Show me truly are. So I would say to this, love yourself no matter what. No matter what nobody tells you, no matter how they look at you. Raise your chest up, keep your head up high, get clean, and walk on strong.
All right, Doug. We want to thank you, bro. We want to thank you for coming on and preaching for us, baby. And Pam says, Doug, you need to write your book, bro. You need to write your book. Doug is a talker. He loves talking. He is the man. He's one of my favorite NFL players, former NFL players. And I want to thank you for coming on the show, bro.
Man, I appreciate you guys for having me on anytime. I'm always here for you, brother.
Yeah, you are the man.
And love and relationships. Thank you.
Linda. And bringing God into the mix, because that's a very important part of who we
are. I can't go no other way.
Yeah, but how we interact, because if there's no, in my book, I talk about agape love is the foundation for every other love. That's the foundation. Because
without a doubt.
So, but it's been awesome. It was a great conversation. I really enjoyed it. And by the way, I sat in church for many years and went through a divorce. That's when I got into my field, psychology, theology, psychology, and marriage and family, because that's what we need. And we need to hear more than a scripture and a preach.
Right. Well, I'm a criminal psychologist, so I come from different angles.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have you on again sometime soon.
Yeah, sometime soon. Anytime, just let me know in advance. Yeah.
All right, then. But we're gonna sign off now. It's 8:00 because we did our hour. So
one love, baby.
Again. One love, and we love y'all every Friday night, 7 to 8 p.m. The Doctor of Love will be here answering
Pacific Standard Time. There you go.
Pacific Standard Time. We'll
Yep.
be here answering your questions. So you can start now and start asking your questions, because none of you guys really asked questions. We just spoke, we just talked, and it was a beautiful thing. And it was a beautiful thing coming from you, Doug, because you're a man and you speak in the word. You're a believer. And
That I am.
That's a
That
great
I
thing.
can't. Look, man.
That's
Look,
a
I
great
started a
thing.
journey a long time ago. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you guys go. And then my grandmother called me and said this to me. She said, "I ain't gonna say too much, but I taught you. You know what to do." And all she was saying, "Pray."
Exactly.
She had to say no more.
Listen, listen to the God in you.
All right.
Go.
Have
All
a good
guys,
weekend.
sign it off.
Thank you for having me on. One love.
All right, one love, y'all.
Good night.